All right, welcome to this lesson here where we're going to be taking a look at rates and specifically looking at kind of how do we solve problems using rates. The lesson is a building off of looking at rates specifically and how we find them, looking at unit rates, and then just comparing two. So we're going to take two different situations and we're going to compare the two of them together. I'm going to have a few different examples that I'm going to go through. And what I'd ask is that for each example, you just pause the video, go through, try to solve the example, and then come back and we'll see how you've done on the example. So that's kind of the procedure that I'll use in this lesson. All right, ready, set, let's go. Here we go. Here's our first one. Samantha lives in a town near the Canada-US border. The gas tank of her truck holds 110 liters. She can either buy gas in her town at $1.79 per liter. This is Canada. Or travel into the United States to fill up at $3.69 US per gallon. What is the total to fill up her truck completely in each place? Well, we're going to take a look at Canadian funds, and this is going to take a look at which one is in fact cheaper. Now, another way to do this would be to figure out what is the cheaper rate, and we could do that as well. But for right now, we're going to just take a look at how much does it cost to fill up in each place. The first one is fairly easy. Let's look at the Canadian one here. So we take the number of dollars per liter, multiply by 110 liters, and that will give us a total of $196.90 Canadian. Whew, gas is expensive. These rates might be different when you watch this, but I tried to find some current rates to when I filmed it. Now, the other way around is we need to look at the American one. Well, first of all, we're given it in a price per gallon. If you want, you could change that into liters, but I'm going to decide just to change the dollars into Canadian, or sorry, change the number of liters into gallons. So there is 29.02 gallons. So this is a conversion. I've converted the two. And if I multiply that by the price, I'm going to get $107.08 US for the price in the US. Now, this price is strictly just it's an American price, so we can't compare the two yet, right? We have Canadian and American prices, so we have to make sure that we have it in the same unit. So now I'm going to change the American dollar into Canadian dollars, and we're going to multiply or divide by our conversion rate, and we get $146.68 Canadian. So we have now the two prices as to what it would cost to fill up this tank in its entirety in both Canada and the US, at least in this situation. All right, now the second part is which option is more economical? Economical means cheapest. There we go. Okay, that was pretty simple. We have it in the same funds, Canadian funds, and so if we decide to compare them, we can compare them directly and say, you know what, the Canadian one is way more expensive, the American one is way cheaper. All right, pretty straightforward, right? But now, the other thing that I throw in there usually is, are there other factors as to where Samantha fills up? Of course there is. Convenience comes into it, time comes into it, and location is going to come into it as well. So that's going to make a difference. And sometimes we pay a little more based on where we live. Apparently, we pay a lot more here in Canada. All right, here's another one. Here's a question. Jordan is asked to order snacks for an applied 11 party. He decides to order donuts, which come in packs of 6. He estimates that he'll need 3.5 donuts per person. How many packs should he buy? Oh, something's missing. Number of students. We don't know how many kids are in the class. Well, let's count. Okay, can you see? Count? Yeah. Should be about 23 of you, unless some people are missing. Yeah. All right. 23 students. How many packs? Pause the video. Come back when you have your answer. All right. Here we go. Let's find our answer. First of all, we need to know how many donuts we need. Now, he's estimating 3.5. Okay, that doesn't mean that everybody gets exactly 3.5. It means that some of you are only going to have 1, and I'm going to have 12. Yes, you betcha. I like donuts. No, it's going to be a matter of, okay, that's just on average, right? What we have. So we take the number of students, multiply by 3.5 donuts per student, means that we will need about 80.5 donuts, roughly their amount. Now, we need at least that, so that means that we're going to have to get probably a few more, unless that isn't exactly divisible by 6, which it's not. So we divide it by 6, and we need 13.5 packs. Always round up because we don't want to be too short. And so we will need to buy 14 packs of donuts for class because they come in packs of 6. All right, so far so good? Okay, let's try a little more of a difficult one. So this one here, it has 2 people walking. So Amelia walks at 6 kilometers per hour, and when she walks at this rate for 2 hours, she burns 454 calories. Bruce walks at a slower rate, 4 kilometers per hour, burning 62 calories in 30 minutes. If Amelia walks for 3 hours, how much farther, okay, so that's distance, will Bruce need to walk to burn the same number of calories? That's a lot. Okay, if you're unsure, that's okay, but give it a shot. Try to solve for it. How far do you think Bruce needs to walk in order to burn the same number of calories that Amelia burns in 3 hours? Pause the video, come back when you're ready. Okay, this one has a lot to unpack. And really, when it's all said and done, it's complicated, and that's okay. But let's give it a shot and let's try it out. So, first thing we need to figure out is how many calories is Amelia going to burn in 3 hours? You can probably just divide 454 by 2 and then multiply it by 3. I'm going to use a rate, and mine's going to look like this. So I'm going to compare the two. I have 2 hours is 454 calories, and 3 hours is how many? Well, we cross multiply and divide, and you and I should have both got an answer of 681 calories, and she's walked for 18 kilometers. Okay, that's important to know as well as we're going through this. So we have the calories and we have how far she's walked, and that's in 3 hours. Again, that's for Amelia. Now, next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Bruce, and we need to match calories. So I'm going to use a calorie one. I know that Bruce burns 62 calories in half an hour. So how many hours is it going to take for him to burn 681 calories? Again, setting this up as a ratio. Okay, we can compare the two. We have rates. We can compare the two. So calories times hours divided by calories, and we're going to get 5.49 hours. So that's a little longer than the 3. Now at 4 kilometers per hour, he's going to walk 21.97 kilometers. And the difference between the two means that he's going to have to walk almost 4 kilometers more than Amelia. Again, he's walking a lot slower. It's going to take him a lot longer, but he'll burn the same number of calories in a longer distance of time. Rates can be compared, and it's fun that we can compare rates, but they have to be in the same unit. And so that's where we sometimes have to convert units. All conversion rates I'll give to you if you need. You can always ask, you can always put up your hand. I will give whatever one you want during an assignment. You can even use your Chromebook to solve for it. But rates I will give to you. I have no problem with that. We need to make sure that we are in the same unit. Then we can compare what they are. You can't compare kilometers per hour and miles per hour because they are two different units. We have to change them in order to compare. That's the conversion part that we need. I hope this has helped you. I hope that you're able now to solve these questions and you can work on the assignment. All the best. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day.